So rumors have been circulating around in the media as of late about the new European Super League being formed instead of the Champions League. The main motive behind this is for the clubs involved to get more money instead of UEFA taking a cut of the prize money and overall money of being in the Champions League. And with this thought of a possible European Super League and rumors of a third European competition to be added for the smaller teams of Europe, it got me thinking, what would happen with a European Super League in FIFA 19 career mode? Hey guys, how's it going? BCH Day here and welcome back to another FIFA 19 career mode experiment type video. And yes, I know, before you start saying it, I know Jared HD did a very similar video a couple days back, so if you guys want to check that out and you haven't already, check it down in the description below. I've linked the video to get into this European Super League. We've made two divisions of English football of the best teams in FIFA. The top 44 teams in FIFA 19 are going to go in two divisions and see how they do in a European Super League type video, and I've included how I made it, you know, swapping all the teams out. You guys can see how to do it, so you guys can do it for yourselves and make your own European or just any type of Super League you guys want. And we're going into the Premier League with the best 20 teams in FIFA, then the Championship with the next best 24 teams in FIFA. So it's going to be a hell of a video, a banger of a video. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. If you do, smack a like on it, subscribe to the channel for some more FIFA 19 career mode content. Follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description, and let's get into this European Super League. So just for the first summer transfer window, we're going to disable any transfers that are going on just to make the experiment as accurate as possible. But as the seasons go on, we're going to have a look to see how the European Super League does business and see what teams come off each other. And we've got the league here. The Premier League is made up of Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, FC Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter, Juventus, Lazio, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Milan, Napoli, PSG, Real Madrid, Roma, Sevilla, Spurs and Valencia. So a few Italian teams, a few Spanish teams, two German teams and a few English teams in there, as well as we move on to the Championship Division 2 of the Super League. As you can see, there's still many decent sides in there. Leicester City, Lokomotiv Moscow, Olympique Lyon, Marseille, RB Leipzig, Real Betis, Sociedad, Sporting Lisbon, Hoffenheim, Wolfsburg, Villarreal, Watford, West Ham. So it's kind of like a Europa League kind of league. As we move up, Berlin, Schalke, Porto, Everton, Frankfurt, Burnley, Mönchengladbach, Besiktas, Leverkusen, Atletico Bilbao and AS Monaco to wrap up that championship. But we're going to call it the European Super League Division 2. But we're halfway during the first season. It looks like Juventus are leading with 47 points. Real Madrid and Barcelona right behind them with 40 and 39. Atletico Madrid are making up the top four. As we move down, the English clubs, Manchester City, Chelsea, Spurs, Manchester United, Liverpool are all in a row. They're not doing very well. From 7th to 11th, they're all placed. As we move on to the Italian teams, Lazio, Napoli and Roma in 12th, 13th and 14th. Sevilla and Valencia in the 15th and 16th position. And Milan and Inter down at the bottom. But it's Dortmund and Arsenal in the relegation zone, as well as Inter Milan. So a very dangerous Arsenal all the way down in 20th. Rock bottom, did not expect that from the North London club, but we're halfway through. There's time to make a better second half of the season, and let's see who wins the European Super League in season number 1. And the promotion race to the European Super League Div 1 is heating up as Porto and Villarreal in the automatic promotion spots, and Monaco, Besiktas, Leverkusen, Real Betis and Sporting Lisbon are in the playoff spots. But it's Lyon and RB Leipzig, Hertha Berlin and Everton as well in the top half of the table, doing pretty well as they're all fighting for promotion. It's pretty close in the second division of the European Super League. It'll be quite interesting to see who gets relegated to League 1 and who gets promoted to the first division. Hoffenheim, West Ham, Leicester City in there as well. But it's at the bottom, it's Mönchengladbach, Burnley, Lokomotiv Moscow and Wolfsburg in the relegation zone. Schalke, Atletico Bilbao, Frankfurt and Real Sociedad just above that zone, and Leicester City, Watford, Olympique Marseille are just kind of in the middle of the table, not really doing much, probably not going to fight for promotion, probably not going to get relegated, but we'll see what happens at the end of season number 1. It looks like Juventus have had a fall from grace in the second half of the season. They finished in 8th, but it's Barcelona coming out on top as inaugural European Super League champions with 81 points. Manchester City right behind them with 73. They've had a resurgence in the second half. Real Madrid coming in 3rd, as well as Manchester United shaping up in the top 4. PSG stay in 5th. Spurs are just in 6th. Bayern are in 7th. Liverpool have just made it into 9th. Atletico Madrid are bang in the middle, and Arsenal have made a resurgence there in the second half of the season. They've saved themselves from relegation to the European Super League Division 2. Chelsea have made it into 12th. Inter have escaped relegation. They're coming in 15th, as well as Valencia, Milan and Napoli. And the 3 teams getting relegated we're going to reveal is Sevilla, Dortmund and Lazio. Roma getting the better of their rivals and staying alive, staying afloat in the European Super League for at least one more season. But it's Lazio, Dortmund and Sevilla going down to European Super League Division 2. So in Division 2, it's Porto and Villarreal getting promoted to the European Super League. Going to be interesting to see how they deal in the first division, but it's Besiktas, Real Betis, AS Monaco, Leverkusen and Sporting Lisbon, pretty much the same when we checked halfway during the season. They're going to battle out for the 3rd promotion spot, but it's Olympique Lyon just missing out on the playoff spot. West Ham coming in 9th, valiant effort in the second half of the season. Athletic Bilbao coming in 16th, Watford and Schalke in 14th and 15th, Everton kind of staying mid-table in 12th, Hertha Berlin in 13th as well, RB Leipzig in the middle with 10 at 10th, and the teams getting relegated is Wolfsburg, Frankfurt, Leicester City and Real Sociedad, all going to League One. It's going to be interesting to see if they can come up and make their way back to the European Super League brackets to see if they can get promoted maybe in a few seasons time, but for now, it's back to League One. Hopefully they can retain their European Super League status next season. But it's Burnley, Hoffenheim, Mönchengladbach all surviving in the European Super League Division 2. Villarreal and Porto go to Division 1, and in Season 1, it's Tottenham winning the Champions League here, 2-1 against Manchester City. The winners, they came runners-up, I believe, in the European Super League. And that is how the Champions League shaped up for the European. It was interesting to see how it affected the real European competitions. And it's Arsenal winning 2-1 against Chelsea. The Arsenal that survived relegation must have had a really good run of form, and they beat Chelsea 2-1 in the Europa League final, the real European competition. It was interesting to see if the Super League affected those competitions, but it's pretty routine from them. And this is the transfer business done, and it's interesting to see the European Super League teams exchanging players. Isco going to Man City, Aguero going to Bayern Munich, and Muller going to Napoli. Kostas Manolas makes his move to Barcelona. He scored that iconic header against them in the Champions League last season. Probably looking to win the Super League for Barcelona. Marek Hamsik going to Real Madrid. Sergio Roberto going to AC Milan. Koeman going back to his former team in Juventus, the team that made a terrible second half of the season. Alex Telles going to Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich doing a lot of business in the transfer window, and just that's how things will wrap up in season number 1. It's Asenjo going to Roma as well. So very decent signings. Grimaldo going to Liverpool. So a non-Super League team player going to a Super League team. Naki Williams jumping up from the 2nd division to the 1st, going to Manchester United, and a non-Super League player is bought by Chelsea. So it'll be interesting to see how Delete does in the Super League. Timo Werner going to PSG, Demirbay going to Sevilla, so a bit of a 2nd division swap there. Pulisic going to Arsenal, so European Super League Div 1 swap there for Pulisic. And yeah, that's how things will wrap up in season number 1. Jose Callahan going to Liverpool, Luke Shaw going to PSG, Kagawa going to Inter, Alonso going to Juventus, Bellerin to Milan. And yeah, that's how things are going to shape up. Alright, season number 2 for the Super League. And it's Barcelona's rival Real Madrid getting their hands on the Super League trophy. As you can see there, Real Madrid on 83 points. Barcelona, last season's champions, on 76. Manchester City making it into the top 4 again. Liverpool making into 4th position as well. But we're going to see who gets relegated in the Super League. Manchester United coming in 9th, Spurs in 10th, Inter making some improvements in 11th, Chelsea finishing in the bottom half, similar to last season. Valencia in there as well. Villarreal have survived, so one team have survived from the 2nd division, but it's Porto and Besiktas going back down to the Super League Division 2. They couldn't deal with the Super League, so they're going back down, getting relegated, as well as AC Milan. Roma survive again by the skin of their teeth. Arsenal in another relegation battle again, but it's Villarreal making it out, so it's proof that a European Super League Division 2 side can survive in Division 1. And we move on to the Championship, the Division 2. It's Dortmund and Lazio making their return back to the Super League for season number 3. Sevilla, Leverkusen, Olympic Lyon, Real Betis and Schalke all going to battle it out for the 3rd promotion place into the European Super League. Going to be very interesting to see who comes up along with Lazio and Dortmund absolutely dominating that league there. But we're going to see who gets relegated, and it's Sunderland, Watford, Portsmouth, Gunthorpe also. The teams promoted from League 1 going straight back down to League 1. They couldn't deal with the European Super League, and Watford are going down as well. So very, very interesting to see, as we see in League 1 who gets promoted to European Super League Division 2. Hoffenheim coming in 10th, Monaco in 8th, Sporting Lisbon also in there as well. Leicester City, Wolfsburg are getting promoted back to Div 2, and it's Frankfurt, Charlton, Barnsley, MK Dons and Peterborough going to battle it out for that last promotion spot to the European Super League. And in the Champions League, it was Real Madrid doing the double. They win the Champions League and win the European Super League, doing the European double, winning it against Fiorentina 2-0 in the final. They get the Champions League trophy and the European Super League trophy in their hands. Valencia end up winning the Europa League against Huddersfield Town 2-1, and they become European champions, qualified for the Champions League next season. Good on them. But we move on to transfer business done in this window. Tolisso going to Spurs, Kimmich going to Barcelona, Bayern doing a lot of business as usual. It's Rabiot going to AC Milan, Thiago going to Barcelona, back to his former team. So a lot of business being done, a lot of players being sold by Bayern. Rodrigo going to Chelsea, as well as David Alaba. I mean, Bayern are selling half their team here. Gonzalo Higuain going to Liverpool, Mendy to PSG, Gaia to Liverpool, Thorgan Hazard to Valencia, John Stones to Roma, Nelson Semedo's gone back to Portugal, back to his home nation, Rugani going to PSG, and a lot of nice business being done here, as Pavon from Boca Juniors is going to Inter Milan into the European Super League, as a non-European Super League player makes the jump, and Simeone going to Sevilla. A few Tottenham players getting sold there as well. And we've reached the last season we're going to be simulating for the European Super League. Season number 3, and Real Madrid go back-to-back European Super League champions with 78 points over their rivals FC Barcelona with 75, winning the league by 3 points. PSG and Juve are right behind them, so a 4-horse race to the championship. PSG and Juventus making up the top 4. Manchester City coming in 5th, Atletico Madrid in 6th, Manchester United in 7th, and Bayern in 8th after they sold a bunch of their players. Liverpool and Spurs in 9th and 10th. Inter and Napoli making their trademark, bottom half, middle half of the table kind of results, kind of turnouts. Chelsea as well in the bottom half as usual. Dortmund have survived the Super League for the 2nd time round. Valencia, Europa League winners last season, coming in 15th. Roma have survived again, as well as Arsenal. So the 2 relegation survivors, battlers, coming in clutch there in 16th and 17th. But it's Olympic Lyon, Lazio and Villarreal. So Villarreal survived the first season of the European Super League. Unfortunately, couldn't survive the second. Lazio couldn't survive after they've been promoted from the 2nd division, as well as Olympic Lyon, but they get relegated, and the the teams getting promoted from the second division. It's AC Milan and Real Betis, and it's Sevilla, FC Porto, Everton, and Sporting Lisbon, as well as Schalke, battling it out for that extra promotion spot. For the third promotion spot, they're going to be in the playoffs. So very interesting to see the European Super Leagues in play here as we look further down the table. RB Leipzig, Monaco, Leverkusen, Leicester City coming in mid-table. Mönchengladbach and West Ham making it in there as well. Few German teams in a row, but it's Sunderland from League One getting relegated. Real Sociedad, Besiktas, and Moscow. So Besiktas went to Division 1, came back down, and now they're going back-to-back relegations to the League One, to the third division. Unfortunately for them, the first team to do that, but this has been the European Super League. What an experiment it has been. Watford getting promoted from League One, but that is it. That is all we have to show for that in terms of European Super League, as we're going to have a look at the Champions League and Europa League up next. As Real Madrid do the double back-to-back, they became European Super League champions and Champions League champions 2 years in a row, and it's Juventus winning 3-0 against Stuttgart in the Europa League final. So Juventus become Europa League champions. Real Madrid absolutely dominating. We're going to have a look at the last transfer business. Depay off to Juventus, Kovacic to PSG, Kimpembe and Bailly off to some English clubs, as well as Sergio Busquets off to Arsenal. Olympique Lyon doing some decent business there. Toure going to Liverpool, Belotti going to Dortmund, Mariano making the switch to Napoli, Brooks off to Manchester United, and Chelsea continue their Ajax spending spree as they get De Jong, Otamendi, Kluivert, Pavard making a move as well, Dolberg, Vasilico off to Manchester United, Brozovic off to Bayern, Bakayoko, Digne. So many transfers going on. It's interesting to see how the European Super League functioned in terms of the transfers, to see what players would jump ship up to the first division or up to the second. Very interesting concept. Thank you guys so much for watching the European Super League FIFA 19 career mode experiment. If you did go on to enjoy it, please smack a like on the video, subscribe for some more FIFA 19 career mode content on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description. And I'll catch you guys on the very next video.